Hello guys, I'm Destiny,
And I'm Jalen.
and this is
Healing is Art.
So first of all, we wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a little bit, but we've been working on some things. We're trying to get a little bit more organized with when we're going to be having videos. We want to get an intro going for you guys. We're just working on some things. So we appreciate your guys' patience always. We wanted to start the video not with a challenge today, but Jaylyn wanted to share some of the things that she's been working on, and I kind of wanted to share a couple things from some local artists from Cheyenne, Wyoming, just because we like to support everybody. So Jaylyn's going to go ahead and show you what she's been working on.
Okay, so I made this avatar out of clay. It's a necklace now. Out of the eyes are like crystals and stuff. And then I've been wrapping rocks and putting hearts on them and stuff to sell.
Yeah, she got big dreams coming, guys, so stay tuned. Oh, also we've been working on a giveaway just to show our appreciation to you guys. So stay tuned for that as well. That's what Jaylyn's been working on. This cool guy I just got from Nico Payne, and he is so awesome. You should check him out. He has music also under Rico Santana. Check him out. He's awesome. Thank you again for making that sweet piece for me, man. And then I got these beauties last night from a really good friend of mine I haven't seen in a long time, but she does her own paintings, and let me tell you, she's been doing a great job. Look at these suckers. I mean, just look at them. They're beautiful. And these are all hand-painted stickers, so, this is just all her work.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really, really nice. Shout out to Stephanie. Thanks, girl. We appreciate you. Anyways, guys, so Jaylyn's kind of not going to talk too much today. It was just kind of me. We've been really big on Save Our Children. A lot of people know that. I wanted to kind of go over some things as a parent that I've had to go through and talk to about my kids, and some things that they have been exposed to, and just let parents know that it's okay and that it happens and that you are not alone, and there are good ways to go about these things, and to just ensure your kids' health and mental health and safety as well as your own. So we're talking about stuff about the internet. Everybody talks about peeping Tom next door, but they never talk about animated picture Steve. There's these predators on the internet that are not talked about, and I think they should be talked about more. So I recently made an Instagram page with Healing is Art, and I put the age number kind of in between, so around 15, 16, just for Jaylyn could start getting an audience as well. I want kids to know that they're not alone and that there is other kids like her, and just like with parents, I want you guys to know that as well. And I noticed that when I did that, when I would get on there to check on things, which is underneath Healing is Art, I just noticed that messages were being sent to her, or us, should I say, and it was click here to see me nude. There's real things like that on the internet, and I have an Instagram, and it was really weird to me because I hardly ever get messages like that. I don't know if it's because my age is older or what, but I feel like the internet targets younger children, and I want you guys to know that because it's pretty normal for children or young teens to have social media, and that's totally fine, but be vigilant and talk to your kids about what they're doing on the internet. Don't be afraid to go through your kids' phone. That's a must. If they're gonna have a phone, at a young age. Like, you as a parent should be taking the responsibility to make sure that they aren't being exposed to things, that they are looking at only things that they need to be looking at, that if they do have social medias, that weirdos aren't trying to contact them, because there is such people as Animated Picture Steve that write our kids and try and persuade them and manipulate them. And our kids are vulnerable. We live in a very weird world, you know what I mean? And people are slick, you know what I mean? Our kids like fancy things. That's what they see all over the internet, social media, TV, all of that stuff. So it's natural for them to want things like that. And you know, these weirdos on the internet make all these fake promises to kids and stuff. They target on the internet, on these social media sites, Roblox, all that shit. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like, all of it. I've witnessed it firsthand. Jalen has told me some crazy stuff. My kids have told me some crazy stuff. Like, I just want you to know, like, stuff like this really happens, and it could be happening to your child too. And they just don't talk about it because there's just not a connection to talk about. And I want you to know that there's ways to build those connections where you guys can talk about things like this. But you know, our kids are just so vulnerable these days, and these people use money, gifts, and you know, all these fake promises to get in our kids' heads to meet up with them or send them pictures, you know, just weird things like that. And then they become a direct target. And I want you parents to know that this could happen to anybody at all. And you need to be vigilant of what's going on around you and with your kids, because your kids go through stuff that you don't know about every single day at school, at friends' house, anywhere where you're not around. Like, they have a whole different life that they either talk to you about, or they don't talk to you about, or they tell you little things, or they don't tell you nothing at all. So, like, I just want you to know that, like, your kid has a whole nother life.
Wow.
And that's okay, because that's what we're all meant to do, is experience life. But kids also need guidance, and they need a backbone to stand by them and let them know, like, their curiosities and stuff like that. Don't let the internet sexualize your kids, you know. Educate your kids about these very sensitive topics, you know, about boyfriend, girlfriends, about sex, about about, you know, just everything that goes with it. Just talk to your kids and educate them, because the media does enough of that already. I mean, movies, all of that. I mean, you guys know it's hard for our kids not to be exposed to some type of BS. I mean, look at the world that we live in today. But I want you to know that it is your job to still educate them, even though they go to school and they all this other crap that says it's for our kids. Like, you know, not everything is good, and you should be taking the time out of your day to educate them on little things about life, things that they aren't taught in school, things that you remember that you hid from your parents. Like, you remember being a kid, you remember, you know, doing lots of bad things and never telling your parents about, because either you guys just never talked about these things because of the comfortability of it, or you were bashed about, you know, being curious about certain things, that it was bad for you to think that way or be that way or to look at things like that. Like, no, there's good ways to educate and there's bad ways to educate. And I feel like just like telling them that they're wrong when we do things and they see us do things and they see the whole world do things, I don't think it's right for you to be like, no, this is not right, this is nasty, this is gross, or this is stupid, this is wrong, this isn't about, you know, God doesn't want you like this. Like, no, That's not, for me anyways, as a parent, that's not how I go about it. I want to teach her, I want to educate her about all these things that are going on in the world in the best that I can. And that's being raw as fuck because let me tell, oops, excuse me, sorry about that. Um, but it's just being raw. um, but for real, the world is really raw. So I think the best way to teach them is just to be raw back. You know what I mean? There's no beating around the bush about these topics and stuff like that. Like, they need to know these real dangers. Like, kids our age are being exposed to things like this. Like, their friends are being exposed to things like this, which are making them expose other people to things like this. Jalen will tell you firsthand, right, Jay? Go ahead and tell them.
Well, I have been exposed to this really bad app on the internet.
And it was brought to her by when she was at a sleepover. And I'm so glad that she had the courage to tell me. You know, she thought she was doing something wrong, and it wasn't her doing anything wrong. It was her being curious. It was all these girls were involved, and they were being curious. They were exposed to it somewhere, who knows what, you know what I mean? And that's just how it goes, you know what I mean? It could have been a freaking pop-up on Instagram saying click this link. You know, it could have been anything, but they were exposed to something and they thought they were doing something bad. That's why they didn't want to talk about it. And I always am telling my kids, like, you could talk to me about anything. Like, I'm always making sure that they know their boundaries and that they let other people know their boundaries, because if they don't, and if we don't teach them those things, then people seem to overstep their boundaries or our boundaries. Like, protect yourselves, your kid, all of them. I'm gonna protect you, I'm gonna protect your kid, kids next door, whoever. All I know is it's save the kid, and be vigilant. Watch your kids. Seriously, it could happen to anybody. Anybody could be exposed. The most innocent kids could be exposed. Let me tell you, because my daughter is pretty dang innocent. And I want you to know all these kids are innocent. And it's okay for them to be curious. And it's okay for them to be exposed. But it's okay for them to not know. It really is. But it's not okay for you to not educate them, to not be there for them, to not be their backbone, to not show them the right way. Because there is right ways and there is wrong ways. And I know I had to learn the hard way. And don't be afraid to tell your kids that you had to learn the hard way and you don't want them to. Don't be afraid to be a parent. It's like weird nowadays. People don't want to be parents. They want to be like their kids' best friends. Nah. You know, I'm going to love you. I'm going to spoil you some days, but some days I'm going to be really tough on you, and I'm going to need you to buckle down and get things done right. And I'm going to be tough, and I'm going to tell you things like, hey, get your butt going, Jalen. I need you to do this. I need you to catch up on this at school. I need you to pay attention more to this. You know, like, it's okay to be a parent, guys, for real. That's lesson of the day. Save our children. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. For real, don't forget. Like, comment, whatever you guys want to do. We just want to show you guys appreciation and love all the time and let you guys know that you guys aren't alone. We love you guys. Have a good day.